right, my friends, it is another bonus hour. We are on the countdown. Today is Tuesday, traditionally followed by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we are done with bonus hours, at least for a little while, and Duck Insider will be back. So if you are a Duck fan and you miss Joey Mack, don't worry, kids. He'll be back on 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, 105.1thefan.com. Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, your smart speaker. All the ways that you get this wonderful radio station. Duck Insider back next week. We will try to wrap up the little summer vacation that the school had with as much fun as we possibly can. Patrick left the baseball game on here. I've got the Cleveland Guardians and the Cincinnati Reds on the TV right now. And I do want to start off with baseball, but I need to give all you wonderful listeners a quick update. Yesterday we had a conversation about the s'mores dog, s'mores plus hot dog on the same bun. Made this over camping over the weekend. It was a s'mores chocolate frosting across the hot dog bun, the actual hot dog, and then 2 roasted marshmallows on top of it. As I mentioned yesterday, I was the only one in the entire camp that got a stomachache. I'm the only one that made one. I ate the majority of it. The only other person that tried it was my nephew. And Casey, you were in favor of my nephew's decision to try the s'mores dog.
I was.
Got a report from my sister that he was sick this morning. So there's your update on the s'mores dog.
Too soon.
I got the ill feeling. I did not vomit, but apparently, my nephew woke up this morning with the pukes. So I don't know if it's s'mores dog, but the evidence is piling up that not a great move.
Need a little bit more maturity in that stomach acid.
You know what? I don't know what it is. I have plenty of maturity in my stomach acid. I was able to hold down the fort, but I did not.
Hey, you seem like you're doing great today. I
was fine yesterday.
It seems like he's probably struggling.
I'm in training mode for Hood to Coast. I got 8 miles in yesterday. I felt just fine yesterday afternoon after the show. I was fine most of the day yesterday. It was Sunday, not good, but Monday apparently not great for the nephew. So
that's a tough one.
Or maybe that was today. I don't know what. Either way, listen. We can't 100%. We're not scientists.
What are we going to blame it on? Are we going to blame it on the hot dog itself, or are we going to blame it on just the concoction that's stirring in the stomach?
The twins took tiny bites. It might just be this mental hurdle that we have to jump over. You know how your mind can affect the body. Maybe that's it. I don't know what it is. But I wanted to give you the update because you were like, that's how you do it. You just take a bite. Can't get sick from that. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
We'll see where it ends up. I've got this baseball game on 5-5. The American League is terrible. The Guardians have the worst OPS in baseball. They're going toe-to-toe with the worst team in the National League Central, and it's 5-5 in the top of the 8th. This just brings me back to a thought that I had earlier today. The Seattle Mariners just got done losing 3 of 4 to the Texas Rangers. That's the team they're basically playing head-to-head for the American League West. The only team with a winning record is now the Texas Rangers in that division. I do not have a ton of confidence in this Mariners team. They're still a good roster, I think. They still have a great farm system according to all the measurements. They still have too many starting pitchers. They still don't have enough right-handed bats. There seems to be the growing consensus that Mariners needed to be buyers. I don't know that I necessarily believe that anymore. I think they need a big shakeup. A lot of people are pointing to Dan Wilson and going, that's a guy you have to get rid of. We need to move off of Dan Wilson. We need to get rid of the manager. He was never the right guy to begin with. The only reason that the Mariners originally picked up Dan Wilson is because he was part of the best run that the Mariners have ever had in franchise history. And now that he has maybe the best roster or the highest expectations that this team has ever had, and they have not lived up to them, it seems like a pretty good idea. Who has fired their manager so far in baseball this year? The Phillies. How'd that go after they got rid of their guy? And
very well.
Who else fired their manager? The Red Sox. How are the Red Sox doing right now?
Very well.
Pretty sure they just won their 10th straight road game and 20th game out of 23. That's going pretty well. Is it too late to fire Dan Wilson? Is he too beloved in Seattle? Did he not manage them to the greatest season that the Seattle Mariners have ever had in the history of their franchise? He did. So, no indication whatsoever that the Mariners organization is planning to do anything with Dan Wilson. But it's starting to get really loud, not just from Mariners fans. Patrick Harris and I were talking about it earlier. He said that's the first move you got to make. He is no Mariners fan. I think they have to do something this week.
Something's got to give.
They have the trade deadline. I don't think the answer is going out there and trying to add more of what you have. You have probably the two of the 5 best right-handed hitting outfielders in baseball. Julio Rodriguez is young enough that there's a lot of room for him to grow. He usually has a hot month. Hopefully that's coming very soon. He's been good this year. Randy Arozarena has been their best hitter all year. Their only all-star. He's been very good. The problem with Randy is we don't know how well he gets along with the rest of the team. He is kind of a weird guy. His effort on defense is iffy at best. He had the weird Cal Raleigh incident at the World Baseball Classic where he went to shake hands and he was ignored by Cal because they're playing against each other, and then he made comments in the media that they go with that. And Randy is on the final year of his contract. He's expected to probably need too much money or be offered more money than the Mariners are willing to spend. So I'm starting to think right now, maybe we do a shakeup. Maybe we get rid of the guys that aren't part of this Mariners future. You've got a young center of your infield. Colt Emerson, Cole Young are probably your guys moving forward. Not sure if Colt Young will be the guy down the stretch. You have J.P. Crawford, who's been a more consistent hitter. Hasn't been great defensively this year, but he's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. But if you look at what they did with Cole Young last year, Cole Young played second base almost the entire season. Ryan Bliss was scheduled to be your day one starter. He got injured. Cole Young came in, played really well almost the entire season. Then you got to the final stretch, and Cole Young wasn't hitting the fastball well, and he didn't have the endurance that you need to play a full 162 games. And you didn't see him down the stretch run. You didn't see him in the postseason. So that might happen with Colt Emerson. He's gotten a taste of the big leagues. He knows what it takes. Cole Young had an excellent offseason, has been an outstanding defensive second baseman, and has been one of their best hitters all year. So maybe you end up doing something like that. But I kind of think the Mariners need to look at this and go, we've got an opportunity to make a run that's going to last a few years. Let's see what we can get. People need starting pitching. Do you have to eat some of the salary to get rid of Luis Castillo? Yeah, you probably do. Why not? Can you get something back for him? Maybe not, but there's no reason to have that guy on your roster. I cannot think of any benefit other than moving Luis Castillo to the bullpen that will help you when you get in the postseason. There is a 0% chance, I guess other than injury, there is a 0% chance that you're going to have 6 starters needed for a postseason, especially a postseason that you're not playing in. Currently, things are not trending in the right direction. You know who the Mariners play tonight? Oh, how about the Los Angeles Dodgers? They've start their 3-game set with the Dodgers. I don't think it's the most exciting opponent that you can have after a couple really bad series. You just lost to the Reds, and then you just lost to the division opponent in the Texas Rangers. So probably not going to go well. Hey, maybe it turns around. Maybe the Mariners go, hey, we've got to start our run right now, and you're going to go up against the 2-time defending world champions, and you're going to rip them a new one. I tend to doubt that happens. But the closer you get to the deadline and the further you get away from 500 in the wrong direction, I think you have to do something now because there's teams in need. You have guys. Would you want Randy if you're looking for a right-handed hitting outfielder? Yeah, most of baseball is looking for that. Anybody in baseball short on starters for a postseason run? Yeah, how about Emerson Hancock? 4 years of team control. Would you like to have that for the future? No, if you're not going to re-sign all 4 of your primary starters, Logan Gilbert does not have a contract extension. George Kirby does not have a contract extension. Brian Wu does not have a contract extension. And Bryce Miller does not have a contract extension. None of those guys have been locked up with big deals that we've been seeing all around baseball. Make your move. Decide what you want to do. You've got a top 5, top 3 farm system. You've got guys that are playing well, hitting for power, hitting for average in AAA. Michael Arroyo, Laz Montes. You've got two pitchers sitting down there that are lighting it up. Earlier this week or last week, you had Cade Anderson go out and throw another 5-6 perfect innings. Ryan Sloan is hitting triple digits with his fastball. He's 20 years old. If you're not going to win, bring some guys up, see what they can do. So that's probably extreme, but there's a bunch of guys that I feel like are probably not part of the future for this Mariners team that another buyer out there might be interested in. Whether you get major leaguers back or if you get prospects back, you need to figure out what the plan is. I'm looking at Randy Arozarena. Is J.P. Crawford part of the future of this team? I don't think he is. Luke Raley, kind of at his ceiling right now, playing well. Somebody might be interested if you need to get a left-handed bat. Dom Canzone. There's a whole handful of guys. Luis Castillo for sure that I think you can let go and get something back now where they're probably at their highest value. You're going to get a lot more now than letting them walk in free agency, that's for sure.
Part of me just thinks that the Mariners will walk into the issue of we have so much talent, now we need to whittle down to see who our crew is.
But isn't this a week to do it?
Not if Dan Wilson's doing it poorly. That's my worry, is that if Dan Wilson, like you said, if these players aren't a part of your future, if Dan Wilson's not a part of your future, make the decision now.
Well, sure, and I wouldn't be mad at that, but you have to change something up.
Yeah.
Again, no indication. Luis Castillo, Emerson Hancock have both been talked about guys that could possibly be traded. So, okay, I'm fine with that. You have a overload of starting pitching. Who knows if Cade Anderson or Ryan Sloan are going to come up and do what they're doing at AA in the bigs? I can't say. But they're both young enough that it's probably worth putting in a try and doing it sooner than later. Look at what the Blue Jays did last year. The Blue Jays were a team that had a bunch of veteran pieces, and then you added in guys like Ernie Clement, young and unproven. How did his postseason go? Pretty well. Addison Barger made a change to his batting stance in the first round of the postseason and lit it up, especially against the Mariners. Was very good in the World Series. Mm-hmm. Trey Savage, what was he, 12 years old last year? Picked in the first round and then just shows up and just starts chucking heat in the World Series and was great. You have to start putting in some of these young guys. You can't have,
but to Toronto's point,
but you can't put 12 guys out there. You can only play 9, and so if you have somebody that has value and isn't part of the future, isn't the trade deadline the time to get rid of them?
Again, and to your point, that's what Toronto did. They decided years ago that, all right, I'm going to go with this Ernie Clement kid and this Kalen Biggio kid. I'm not riding with him. Remember, their middle infield was Kalen Biggio and Bo Bichette, and they thought that was going to be their future.
No longer.
Nope.
No longer. Now, Blue Jays might not be the perfect example because they are terrible this year.
Yikes.
But for making a push last year, it worked out great. A couple of years ago, what did the Tigers do? Sold at the trade deadline and then ascended. It was a change-up. It wasn't necessarily them looking at the guys on their roster and going, you're not good ball players. They looked at it and said, here's some value that we can get back from other teams. We've got young guys that can step into this, and they made a run, and they were back in the postseason last year, and they played a very fun 5-game series against the Seattle Mariners. They were as close as getting to the ALCS as the Mariners were getting to the World Series. That was a great series, filled with extra innings games. So...
And what was the difference maker in that series? Detroit ran out of arms.
Well, yeah, they ran Tarek Skubal out there 3 times, and then they went and paid $30 million for a different left-hander, and now they're talking about trading Tarek Skubal. So again, I'm not saying that it's easy, but what I'm looking at running up to this week is all of those rumors, this big rumor mill of all the things that you need to do to fix your baseball team. I think you might have to go non-traditional, and I wouldn't be mad at it. You've got enough guys that are locked in. Cal Raleigh has been awful, but he's your catcher. Negative WAR for Josh Naylor. He's your first baseman. You know who your middle infield is. It's Cole Emerson and it's Cole Young moving forward. Your center fielder will not change. It will be Julio Rodriguez. Is Brendan Donovan a piece that you can move around when he gets back? I don't know. You've lost basically 1 year of team control because he's only played 25 games. But if he comes back, you've got him. You've got a right field that's kind of a mess. You've got a weird platoon of all lefties and Victor Robles, who can't hit at all, but is a great defender. You've got Randy, who's going to be gone after this year. You've got a few spots where you can change it up. But all of those guys that you could possibly get rid of other than J.P. Crawford should have value right now. I mean, you've got Dom Canzone playing better than expected.
And J.P. Crawford still has value for other teams. Maybe
there's just a lot of shortstops out there, and I don't know that he'd be the most valuable. But if you can offload him and get a prospect right now that helps your pipeline, that may not help you now, but if he's not part of your future, I think you can move on. Luis Castillo has one more year, and you have to pay him $20 million. Eat some money and see if you can get something back for a team that desperately needs starting pitching. Emerson Hancock. If you get rid of one of your core four, which would be Wu, Miller, Kirby, and Gilbert, I wouldn't be mad at you, but you have to get something.
You have to
big
get something
out there, and
of
there's
value in return.
But there isn't that much value out there in the names that you're seeing. So adding any of your guys to that rumor mill seems to add a bunch of value. Probably went a little bit too long on the Mariners to start off, but I left the show yesterday. We kind of watched them flail in the end of the series yesterday. It's pretty much the only thing that was on my mind as I finished up my commute on the way home yesterday.
Jock Peterson really got a hold of that one home run, and you said, all right.
Well, listen, they lost 7-3, so it wasn't just the one home run from not quite as fat as he was last year, but still fat Jock Peterson. Didn't sit well with me. But again, going into this Dodgers series, would you like a couple numbers on this Dodgers series that'll make you feel really good?
Give them to me.
Luis Castillo is pitching tonight, and you know that he's 3-0 against the Dodgers. It's got to make you feel good.
That'll make you feel good.
How about this, though? Dodgers have won 12 straight against the Mariners and 22 of their last 25. Probably not going to make you feel as good.
That one hurts.
Yeah. I was at the series. I think I was at the final game. Last year going into the postseason, the final series of the season.
Was this in Seattle or in Charlotte?
It was in Seattle. Seattle Mariners hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers. They were already in the postseason, but they just got steamrolled. Absolutely steamrolled. It was not a ton of fun. Would have loved to have seen a rematch when, the Mariners had already clenched and pumped the brakes and all of that, but it's not great. All right. That's enough baseball for me today. We'll get back into a little bit probably in the Daily Buzz, but for right now, I think we need to move on to the NFL. Frustration. We've got a week left. We'll see what happens, but my plea is don't do nothing. If you're going to buy, I don't know who's out there, but I also don't trust any of the rumor mill. So if we end up seeing somebody that becomes a big name or whatever, you can offer more. If you make the big move, fine. But if you don't, go the other way. Just do something. Don't do nothing. Whether it's Dan Wilson getting fired or it's buying, you can go the other way, and I wouldn't be upset about that at all. You just gotta do something. Do you have that audio from Chris Sims?
Not yet.
Ooh, all right. Then we'll wait on that, and we will dive into a whole smattering of NFL stories from around training camps and elsewhere. We'll do that next. You're listening to Bonus Hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
One of my favorite Seahawks might be Gray Zabel. Odd for a left guard to be one of your favorite players, but every time I hear him in interviews, every time I see quotes from him, he seems to be a very thoughtful guy. Now remember, this was your first round draft pick last year, and he's a guy that won multiple state titles, won 2 NCAA FCS championships, and then in his first year won a Super Bowl championship. So I think winner is something that you would say about him. Now, how many teams are led by their offensive linemen? As a group, quite a few. But love the guy when he goes out there and talks about something. And one of the questions that we have about the Seahawks going into the 2026 season, offensive coordinator. And I saw this quote. It kind of reminded me of the first conversation we had when Mike Macdonald and the team with the Seahawks made this hire. Because we thought, it's got to be somebody that's already in the organization. You want continuity. You want to keep things similar. You have a quarterback who had tremendous success with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, came in and partnered with Clint Kubiak, who is somebody that he worked with in San Francisco, and it was going to give him an opportunity to have some continuity. Obviously, it worked out really well. They went outside of the organization, and they went and got Brian Fleury, who was with San Francisco when Sam Darnold was there. So, okay, that makes sense. But let me give you, once again, Brian Fleury's resume before I give you the quote from Gray Zabel. So in the NFL, this is where Brian Fleury started. In 2013, he was a quality control coach for the Buffalo Bills. In 2014 and 15, he was an assistant and an outside linebackers coach for the Cleveland Browns. He went to San Francisco as a defensive quality control coach in 2019. Then he switched over to offensive quality control coach in 2021. And then in 22 through 24, he was the tight ends coach. And now he is the run game coordinator and tight ends coach in 2025. Now the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. What's unique about that resume? Both sides of the ball. Mike Macdonald is a defensive-minded head coach. We always have to put the labels on everybody. He went out and got a guy that has been on the offensive side of the ball for the last, 5 years. But before that was a defensive guy. So do you think they speak the same language?
I'm going to guess yes.
This is what Gray Zabel had to say about Brian Fleury, having just worked with him for a few days in training camp. Brian has come in and done an absolutely unbelievable job top to bottom. He wants to build on what we already have, put a new kind of wrinkle on it. He's a guy that just sees the game of football differently than 99.9% of human beings do. It's truly remarkable how he sees it and his ability to teach it. So if you're an offensive lineman and you're getting the opportunity to be coached by somebody that understands both sides of the ball, that's going to give you a huge advantage. He went on to say, if he's standing back behind a play, he just sees the defensive front, linebackers coverage, all that, just a little bit differently, and he sees things happening before it happens, and it allows Sam Darnold and those guys to play free, but also to have the vision of how he wants us to play. So one of the things that was cool and an ongoing story with the Seahawks last year that I really enjoyed was the relationship between Gray Zabel and Leonard Williams. And they talked about this all the time. Leonard Williams pointed out how Gray Zabel, a rookie, made him better as a defensive lineman. And Gray Zabel, at every opportunity, gave the chance to give Big Cat credit for helping him with what to look for, tendencies, moves, the way that even just a shifting of weight can give you an indication on what somebody wants to do. As pessimistic as I am about the Mariners and the rest of their season, I don't know, man. Maybe I don't want to start any hype because we know what happened with the Seattle Mariners. But here's the big difference. What did I scream for at the beginning of the baseball season? Can everybody just shut up about the Mariners being a favorite to win the World Series? It was exhausting. Did I not sit on these airwaves and just somebody pick again? Tell me they're going to be awful. And nobody would. And where are they?
Well, they're not great.
Anybody picking the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl this year?
Are they?
Not really.
Well, that's a good sign.
Not really. Anybody picking them to win the conference?
Probably not.
Anybody picking them to win their own division?
That's a good sign.
The favorites? Los Angeles Rams. Am I okay with that? Was I upset about the Aaron Donald thing yesterday? Sure. Just make a decision already. I'll leave it there.
Wait it out as long as you can, Aaron.
But you know what? I do love that they're not the favorites, and I do love this move. Who knows if it ends up working out? But if you're a defensive guy and you go out and get an offensive coordinator that has played both sides of the ball and understands it, and your entire goal with your defense is to disguise, to make the offense adjust to you, to make it more challenging pre-snap to know what's going to happen on the other side of the ball than anybody else, and you get to practice against an offensive coordinator that already knows what your defense is trying to do and understands the language, I really like it. I know we've talked about all this before, but just looking at it from another angle, now that we've started training camp, now that you're hearing it from the players, the ability to teach it, not only to see it differently, but able to explain it to your offensive line, your quarterback, and get everybody on the same page, I think that could be big. We'll see.
Got a lot of confidence over there.
Well, again, just what did I ask the Mariners to do in the last segment? You don't
something.
You do something. But,
do something.
But I'm in favor of them doing something different. The Seahawks are doing things differently. That's what I like. That's what I appreciate. You know what else I appreciate? Our walks over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk for a SportsCenter update. There he goes.
Nothing too interesting on this update.
Oh, good.
First on the fan, Draymond Green returns to the Warriors on a one-year, $27.7 million deal. Green turned down his $27.6 million player option earlier this summer in a surprising move to create financial flexibility for Golden State to potentially land LeBron James. But after LeBron has signed with Philly, Draymond Green will make his return to Golden State.
So he turned down 27.6, and as a reward, 27.7.
So LeBron was worth $100,000 to the Golden State Warriors?
Well, hey, I mean, if they needed to clear out cap space to get that $8 million, I guess $4 million for next year, so $8 million over 2 years for LeBron. How much cap space did you really need to clear out? Just Jonathan Kuminga's buffet bill at the cafe in the team restaurant or whatever it was could have covered that.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Sports Saturday with
Binary Brewing and the Fan have teamed up for the Only Fan IPA, available for a limited time. Taste the Fan with Binary Brewing's signature West Coast IPA. Go to Binary Brewing's Beaverton location and ask them about their Only Fan. So good. Only the Fan and Binary Brewing can pull it off. Any luck with that audio?
I've got it for you.
All right, so we talked a little bit about this yesterday. There were reports that Kyle Shanahan could not stay away from 49ers training camp. He was out there for about a half hour wearing sunglasses, but standing back, hanging out with John Lynch and not really participating. He was in a bad car accident a couple weeks ago, and we didn't have too many details on it. But apparently a close personal friend of Mr. Shanahan is one Chris Sims, and Chris Sims had the opportunity to share more details about how bad this accident really was. One thing I'll point out before we hear from Sims is they've already investigated this. The fault was not on Kyle Shanahan at all. It was not an incident that was, related to anything unusual. It was a kind of a freak accident. It sounds like I didn't see a lot more details other than there was no one at fault, and certainly not Kyle Shanahan. But as far as how bad the accident was, it sounds like it was pretty awful. Here's Chris Sims.
It was scary. There's no doubt about that. It was scary. You know how close I am to him and his wife, Mandy, and how great of friends they are. And, of course, we were in the south of France just a month ago and having a great time together. But, yeah, all of a sudden one day I get a text from Kyle's wife, Mandy. She texts myself and my wife. And like, oh, no, Kyle's been a part of some horrible accident. And she sent us some pictures right off the bat. And it was like, oh, my gosh. Like, so just to let you know, paint the picture. You've seen the injury report, the broken ribs, 40 stitches in the face, the broken nose, broken left hand, of course, the bad concussion. But when you first see it and it's fresh and some of the cuts are still wide open, I mean, it's jarring. It's jarring. He was this close to maybe losing his right eye, right? The scar is so big right here. And so all that stuff was just crazy to see. And of course I'm, thinking of my friend, but yeah, it's tough. And he's still battling with this concussion. And yeah, it happened about 10 days ago now, I'd say 11, maybe somewhere like that. And 13 now. Holy crap. And yeah.
So much worse than I initially thought. Mm-hmm. And the idea that, potentially losing an eye, 40 stitches in your face, kind of wild. So certainly not something to make light of. Hopefully, with the severe concussion, it doesn't end up having long-term, issues or anything like that. But, just hoping him a speedy recovery on everything. And you hate to look at a rival and see anything outside of the game go the wrong way for them. So speedy recovery to Kyle Shanahan, hopefully on the sideline very soon. But that's a pretty scary explanation of what happened. And also, I mean, good on Chris Sims for getting in the humble brag. Oh, we're just in the south of France. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that.
Yeah, David Lombardi, Shanahan's attorney, said, I was driving. As a statement from Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan took fault for the car accident on Alma Street near downtown Palo Alto, which is a 4-lane way without a median, only a double yellow. Said, I was driving. I was going 20 miles an hour. I was not on my phone, but I dropped my phone and I was stuck in my seat. I took my eyes. Sorry, loading the full tweet here. Took my eyes off the road looking for my phone and my car veered into someone. It's one of those roads where there's no forgiveness. It's one of those roads where I'll teach my kids you don't drive in the left lane for no reason. You're only allowed a foot. When I hit her, I'll never forget how violent the impact was.
Yeah. Wow.
Scary.
It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. We'll move on from that. Just wanted to kind of clear up that story. So we did talk about it yesterday. I didn't mean to minimize it, but certainly something that was kind of talked about jokingly. Him in disguise at the practice. And
for him going 20 miles an hour, that's
it doesn't take much.
Ridiculous amount of damage.
Yeah, well, I mean, you going 20 and somebody else going
60, probably.
Well, but even if they're going 20, that's a 40-mile-an-hour impact, and if you
Yep.
do it head on, it can be absolutely brutal. Who knows, make, model of the vehicles and how much it makes a difference, and whatever it is, just the wrong angle.
It was a nice car.
I understand that, but if it's something vintage, it's not going to be the same thing as something that's new. If you have something, there's a million things that can go wrong in a car accident. That's why if you ever watch one of those deployments of airbags that happen in brand new cars, I was in a pretty bad accident in 2014, 16 Honda Civic. The amount of airbags that came out of that thing are insane. And the fact that you can walk away from something that was so jarring. I was going from 0 to whatever, but it was nearly a head-on collision. And just, it's unbelievable the amount of impact, and it doesn't take a whole lot of speed to create a very violent collision. So anyways, wishing him the best, and we'll move on to another NFL story. This one is kind of getting weird. What is going on in Tampa Bay? So Baker Mayfield and his team have opted to play out his final year of his contract, and then they said they're going to go into free agency. So Baker and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been going back and forth on a contract extension. Baker said that he'll give it to the start of camp, and reports are that this is it. We'll see what happens. They were not able to get Mike Evans to return. Vita Vea is now asking for a trade out of Tampa Bay after his extensions talks have failed. This is a team that won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady not that long ago and was successful with Baker Mayfield and was a postseason team and was right there on the cusp last year until he played through a couple injuries. And now they're unwilling to extend Baker, unwilling to extend Vita Vea. Is this just Tampa Bay going and looking for a reset? Or is this a sign of just management not knowing what direction they want to go? Because this seems like a pretty big misstep. But I'll ask you the question, Casey. You love to rank players and put people in their little boxes. Is Baker Mayfield a guy that can carry a team to a quarterback without Mike Evans?
100%. He's done it before.
Not to a Super Bowl.
He did it in Cleveland. That's
He won
as close to a Super Bowl as you're going to get in Cleveland.
Winning a postseason game is equivalent
As close
of
as
doing
you're
that.
going to get.
All right. I mean, so big. This is a big mistake in your mind, or is
I think it's going to be a mutual parting of ways. I think this is Tampa Bay's realization that they're out of their window to be at the top of their division. Their division's only getting better, and they're only getting older. So you have a big issue when you have Vita Vea, Mike Evans. Well, that's the old guard that won Super Bowls with you. That's your jersey sales. Well, let's figure out how we're going to transition this to the future.
Well, they've got one more year together, so at least with Baker Mayfield, Vita Vea asking for a trade, seeing what you can get for a guy that is still pretty valuable. I don't know if you have him on your list.
They have 3 of their top 10 highest paid players were gone or are choosing not to come back after this year.
Yeah.
Again, Vita Vea is their highest paid defender other than Antoine Winfield Jr., who just
Is he still worth the money?
Vita Vea? Yeah.
So you should get a haul in return.
That's a game.
I mean, if he's available,
especially with the Dexter Lawrence trade, kind of setting the precedent for what a really good right now playable D tackle is worth. Vita Vea is gonna get some offers.
Well, and for Tampa Bay, it's what you can get back. So if that ends up being that they've got to trade him, who's ready to make a big move to go out and get it, and if you can turn that into a weapon for Baker Mayfield, maybe the right option.
Yeah, both those moves seem like mutual agreements. Baker Mayfield, all right, we're not going to re-sign you. We're going to let you play out this year. Again, now you're on a contract year. So what do players usually do on contract years?
Yep,
they usually play well.
Sure. Yeah. How much would you pay a defensive tackle?
With the market resetting, $20 million a year, $22 a year, maybe close to 30.
Philadelphia Eagles have locked down Jalen Carter, making him the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. 4 years, $152 million contract extension.
And he's worth every penny.
He's kind of a head case, too, if he turned into somebody that decided that he's been paid and decided not to show up. Would that completely shock you?
The Philadelphia Eagles have done a very good job in NFL history of paying their defensive linemen, making them feel like they are home, making them feel like Philly is their team.
You better hope so. 106 million of that 152 guaranteed.
And
So-
Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, they're just examples.
Well, you have
Jalen
to-
Carter's the top of that list.
Well, and that's the whole thing that you have to look at and go, is this a guy that can create
Is this our Fletcher Cox?
Well, but are there guys around him that can create an example of what he needs to do? So not going and being baited into spitting into a quarterback's face before a game starts. None of the concerns that were coming out in the draft why he wasn't the number one overall pick.
I don't think that's a major concern for Philly. Philly's got
obviously not.
everything out of him what they expected to. They got him on a really cheap draft pick. So What do you do now? Let's pay this man.
Absolutely rewarded. It is 100% wild. The Packers have decided that they are not going to have much conversation about hot seats or anything else when it comes to keeping continuity. They have made the decision to keep Coach Matt LaFleur and General Manager Brian Gutekunst. They are both going to stick around. What is the extension on this? I don't have the numbers here. But they've decided to extend them both throughout this season. Why am I not seeing this? They finished the season last year with 5 straight losses. And I had this up earlier. And now, they are both going to be added to the long-term strategy for that. The Packers have decided that they're going to renew those guys. I don't have the numbers. So.
$15 million per
There you go.
year,
Okay.
according to NFL.com.
Oh, perfect. There you have it. All right, you ready to do some lists?
Let's do it.
I've got 2 for you today. I've got one that's going to be really easy for you to get the top spot, but I'm very curious what you think of the most impactful off-season moves around the NFL. And then we'll get you your list of 100 names voted on by players by NFL.com. We'll do that to wrap up the bonus hour. We do it next. It's 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
That's right. It's bonus hour. One more week of these. Duck Insider back on the 3rd. Young lowercase, I know you love your list. This makes it very easy for you because the number one on this list is going to be very obvious. ESPN, Matt Bowen, put out a list of the top impact signings, trades, draft picks for the 2026 NFL season. That seems pretty obvious. I don't think there's any question who's at the top of the list. It's obviously going to be the pickup of Bud Clark, draft pick by the Seattle Seahawks to replace
Jadarian
Kobe
Price
Bryant. Whoa, wait. Don't minimize Jadarian Price. I was going to go there, but yeah, anyways. Obviously, it's Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is the biggest offseason move. That is enormous, and it's obviously going to have a huge impact on a division that's going to be super competitive. Team that was, few plays away from going to a Super Bowl and likely winning it. So there you go. That's your number one. I'm going to give
And again,
you...
even if they don't have Myles Garrett, they're still probably close to the top of the list because they made the swing for Trent McDuffie at the start of the offseason.
Trent McDuffie, I will tell you right now, is number 3 on the list. So those are two obviously big moves. The Los Angeles Rams undoubtedly had the most impactful offseason based on all of our assumptions and everything that we can guess. They are a team that is not trying to move a whole lot farther forward, but they want to leave no doubt that they've got a roster that's ready to go out and win a Super Bowl, which, again, we talked about this earlier. It's great for a Seahawks fan because the Seahawks are not going to be under the microscope even though they're defending champs. You had a team that didn't even make the World Series last year that everybody picked to win this stupid thing because nobody wanted to pick the Dodgers. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need any of that. Seahawks are not picked to win the Super Bowl right now. They're not picked to beat the Rams. I love being second place in the division when no games have been played, and you're not going to play the other team that they're expecting to be great until Christmas. Give me the anticipation. It'll be fine. Who do you think's number 2 on the list? If Myles Garrett is number 1 and Trent McDuffie is number 3, I need you to tell me who number 2 is.
I'm going to go with the Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders. You're saying their center, Tyler Linderbaum?
Tyler Linderbaum, you retain Max Crosby. You also draft Fernando.
But it's not the best offseason.
Okay, so
this is the best single move. Because, again, number 1 is Myles Garrett. Number 3 is Trent McDuffie. You think the center by himself is number 2? I'll let you change it.
That's going to change the way that. Yeah,
I got Linderbaum at 8. He's 8 on the list, so you're not terribly far off. So I'll give you that as a freebie, and now you've got number 8 filled out. Who do you think the number 2 impact player according to ESPN?
I'm gonna need a position on this one.
Well, I'm gonna tell you it's wide receiver.
Ooh, San Francisco 49ers?
Whoa, San Francisco 49ers 13 with Mike Evans.
Okay.
That is the 4th wide receiver on the list.
Who was the number 1 wide receiver this offseason?
Surprised me.
That would be the New England Patriots?
It is.
Okay.
A.J. Brown. He's already getting yelled at by Mike Vrabel, and they seem to be okay with that. It is his guy.
That's his guy.
Well, and I bet you they had a quick conversation going, hey, you're the new guy here. I'm going to have to give you a little bit. If you drop a ball, I'm going to come at you. So everybody knows.
So everyone knows that we can't be messing around here.
That's right. And then they went to Sedona and sat in a hot tub together. I don't know if that is true. Do not print that. Would you like me to give you the top 10 most impactful offseason moves? Because some of them might surprise you.
Hit me with them and let me know first so we can get this out of the way. Where is Michael Pittman on this list?
Michael Pittman is not one of your top 4 wide receivers. Pittman. Scrolling down.
Crazy work.
Scrolling down. Passing Isaiah Likely. Passing Reek
Isaiah
Woolen,
Likely?
Passing Jadarian Price. Passing John Franklin Meyer. Passing Brian Cook. Passing...
And 1,000-yard receivers.
Passing Travis Etienne. Passing Fernando Mendoza.
Crazy.
I do not see Michael Pittman.
You're having to control F this.
I am control effing Pittman. Oh, and I put in Pitt, P-I-T-T, and it brought to me, Carter was ejected by the season for spitting on. That is the only time that P-I-T-T shows up on the list, my friend. That ain't good. Your top 10 are...
Tell me you don't. Tell me they're not watching.
What's that?
Tell me they're not
Well,
watching.
hey, Myles Garrett, number 1. A.J. Brown, number 2. Trent McDuffie, number 3. Dexter Lawrence going to the Cincinnati Bengals is number 4. Trey Hendrickson going from the Cincinnati Bengals to the Baltimore Ravens is number
Makes
5.
sense.
Kyler Murray is number 6. That is
Okay.
that's a big move and very intriguing to me. We've talked about that. Number 7. First draft pick on the board. Care to guess?
Sonny Styles?
Caleb Downs being drafted
Okay,
by the
Cowboys.
Cowboys. It's
Okay.
a big one. Tyler Lindenbaum, we already said, was number 8. 2 wide receivers. Jalen Waddle going to the Denver Broncos at 9, and DJ Moore being traded to the Buffalo Bills at number 10. 2 draft picks after that. Reuben Bain Jr. to the Bucks. Jeremiah Love to the Arizona Cardinals.
Jeremiah Love to the Arizona Cardinals doesn't impact the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, it impacted the entire offseason. Jeremiah Love sitting right there. I'm looking at the list. I can see it right now.
I don't like that one.
I didn't
love
think
the
you would.
I love the reasoning for the other draft picks. Reuben Bain, again, in a Tampa Bay team that's completely changing their outlook on where their future's headed.
You know what's hilarious about
That doesn't
this?
I don't like that.
I just realized, and this is dumb of me. I thought it was, I didn't even realize how clever I was being. Putting in Pitt, P-I-T-T, not only would search for Pittman, also for Pittsburgh. You don't show up anywhere on the list.
Nope.
At all.
Had a pretty good offseason, I'd say.
Closest you got was spitting on Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. That's the only sentence in the article that the letters P-I-T-T show up in that order. Ooh, buddy. Shots fired.
Brand new coach.
Hey,
Brand new wide receiver who got 1,000 yards last year. New corner who was at the top of his game in Tampa Bay last year. That's okay.
Would you rather be favored to win it all or be completely overlooked?
Completely overlooked.
Nobody trusts your quarterback, your coach, or apparently your team. So there you have it. All right, let's do it quick. Number 48 on the list of the top 100 players, 17 games, 49 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 28 quarterback hits. Jacksonville Jaguars defensive end, Josh Hines Allen.
I have him a lot higher up on the list. Or lower on the list.
Lower on the list. Where, how far down do you have him?
I have him at 70. 70 is where I have him.
Ooh.
I got him right at 70.
Terrible pick there. 16.
I'm higher on the guys that played behind him more than I'm higher on Josh Allen.
16 games, 45 tackles, 1 fumble return, 17 passes defense, 0 interceptions. Cornerback, Philadelphia Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell, number 47. Control.
I have Quinyon at 36.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm very high up on Quinyon Mitchell.
0 interceptions.
That's because no one throws at him.
Well, then there you have it. 17 passes defended.
If you watch
17 passes defended suggests that somebody threw at him, but yeah, no picks. Just
again, when the other side is Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
People like to throw at Cooper DeJean a lot. Cooper DeJean shows up on the stat sheet quite a bit. Quinyon Mitchell, he'll give you 1 a game. Again, 17 passes defended, you said?
Yeah.
That's 1 a game.
That's not bad.
That's I throw at you 1 a game. I realize the window is not there, and Quinyon Mitchell is that guy.
It's early in the first quarter, and they're like, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
All right.
If you watch Philly games and watch what happens in the red zone, Quinyon Mitchell gets locked down.
I don't hate it. Sounds like you weren't terribly far off. 11 on that one, and you had him going the other direction. But
yeah, DB's on my list. That's where everything's going to change.
I was going to say position groups have been weird with wide receivers and defensive backs.
Yeah.
You love your defensive backs.
I'm big
and
on
your wide
safeties.
receivers.
That's a position I played in. Wide receiver.
Obviously, you're built like a safety.
There's a lot I could forget about.
Junior high safety, but a safety.
Amen to that.
All right. Let's get into the normal shenanigans that are happy hour. We do it next. This is 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
The success.
from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, your Portland Fire are back in action, coming back from the All-Star break as they take on Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces on the road tonight at 7 p.m. The Fire come into the contest as 11.5-point road underdogs, as you can catch all of tonight's coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 6:45. Some NFL news for you, as the Eagles are signing two-time Pro Bowl selection Jalen Carter to a 4-year, $152 million extension. The extension is worth up to $160 million. That includes $106 million guaranteed, which becomes the richest contract for a defensive tackle in NFL history in both guaranteed money and average annual value. And finally, some MLB news for you, as Yankees All-Star outfielder Cody Bellinger will be out 4 to 6 weeks due to a grade 2 left hamstring strain. Bellinger was placed on the 10-day injured list after he felt tightness in his hamstring during the Yankees' 3-1 win over the Phillies on Saturday night. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
This is the
Hey, happy anniversary of the fall of the fascist government in the Republic of San Marino, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for fifth smallest country in the world, one of only 3 countries completely surrounded by another nation. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. I hope you enjoyed the bonus hour. We appreciate you listening. If you are watching us on the YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, online at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you ask your smart speaker to ignore the Pittsburgh Steelers and all of their offseason moves, and this is what you got. Use the fan text line. It's 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the text. Use the chat. Share your thoughts. Ask questions. Solicit advice. Or answer me this, dear listeners. How do you feel about pedicures? Lowercase, have you ever had a pedicure? A professionally done pedicure?
I have not, but I've been thinking about it. Because I got problems with my feet. My feet hurt a lot. I don't know why.
Okay.
Just got problems with my feet, so I'm pretty sure I got to figure something out.
All right. I also have never gotten a pedicure. I've lost a couple toenails, both large toenails, but I don't think that had anything to do with my nail care routine, more of shoes that didn't fit quite right. Once a snowboarding boot, once a golf shoe, which was really frustrating because golf is a game to be enjoyed at your leisure. Downhill snow sports, that's a little bit more extreme. You lose a toenail doing that. That feels right. Hitting a 7-iron and all of a sudden you lose a toenail, not as good. Not as good. I'm okay with that. Here's my thing about pedicures, is I feel like cutting my toenails is one of those like checkpoints in life where if I'm ever too fat to reach my toes, got to do some corrective behavior.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So I look at it that way. Every few weeks when I bend over and see if I can sustain a reach down for long enough to trim all the little piggies, things are going well. Now, are you a Mike Greenberg fan? Do you watch Get Up on a regular basis? Were you a Mike and Mike radio listener back in the day? I
was a Mike and Mike listener back in the day. I haven't said I can't say I've listened to it anytime recently.
Well, I don't think they make the show anymore. I think
or just any of their content.
Yeah,
either one of them.
I don't know much about Mike Greenberg. Here's 2 things that I know. 1, he loves the New York Jets. 2, he loves pedicures. The reason I bring this up is Dan Orlovsky swore up and down that he would never, ever get a pedicure. And they had a big argument on Get Up this morning. And his argument, that's not what men do. It almost makes me want to get a pedicure just because he's such an idiot about the argument.
I mean, you saw how Bernie Mac used to do it.
Oh, sit back, relax, get a calf massage, get a foot massage, get them all. I got no problem with a pedicure.
I have a problem with people that think it's one either manly or the opposite.
That's exact. I'm with you.
I
think out of spite, let's get a mandate, and you and I will go get pedicures, and we'll send the video to Dan Orlovsky.
I'll have to wear a suit like Bernie Mac.
We'll just have to go full.
I'll have to go
dressed.
full Bernie.
All right. We'll get zoot suits on, and we'll go out there and we'll do the whole thing. He always did the pinstripes.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I don't know that they were zoot suits, but anytime I see pinstripes, that's what I always think of. All right. Ready to do some in case you missed it?
Let's do it.
All right. In case you missed it, the Astros pulled off a wild ninth-inning rally against the Angels, scoring 4 runs on just a single hit and almost zero hard contact thanks to walks, hit batsmen, and a botched dribbler back to the pitcher. Say what you want about the Houston Astros, but they've got a top-notch analytics department. They realize that you don't actually have to beat the Angels. You just have to stand there and watch them implode. It's brilliant baseball strategy from a team that I abhor. In case you missed it, a looming labor dispute over a proposed salary cap has some MLB owners reportedly pessimistic that a 2027 season will happen at all. Join the club. Mariners fans are pessimistic that a 2026 season will happen at all. So, kind of even. Next one's for you. So if you're laughing extra hard at that one. In case you missed it, Aaron Rodgers said that there is zero debate that the 2026 will be his last in the NFL, and 2021 will be the last good season that he had. So there is zero debate. Oh, shut up. I knew you would do that. In case you missed it, the Green Bay Packers reported an operating loss, but adamantly refused to sell naming rights to Lambeau Field to generate revenue. Listen, Packers, I'm not telling you how to run your business, but maybe, just maybe, what if you only opened up naming rights to companies that make cheese? Wouldn't that be? Is frozen tundra really that much better than Velveeta Valley? I mean, come on, how good would... Imagine how excited your new partner Kraft would be if the Packers only allowed one American single first down during a game. Like, that would be... I mean, isn't the stadium already named after a guy named Curdley? Isn't it Curdley? No? Is that not... So stupid. In case you missed it, WWE icon John Cena proudly showed off his shaved head, explaining it was necessary to harvest follicles for his second successful hair transplant, and fans are roasting him online. Really? The man made a fortune pumping up on steroids, shaving his entire body, and play fighting with other glammed up juice monsters. You really expect his hair to be authentic? Like, what's... like? It's the WWE. Their fights are staged, their muscles are chemically enhanced, and the canvas is padded. Let the man have synthetic bangs. Can we just...
He's had the crew cut forever.
Yeah, listen, he needs to keep his high and tight. I mean, just get whatever. He gets hair plugs, who cares? The guy's entirely fake. In case you missed it, good news. The Miami Heat staffer who accidentally leaked the fake LeBron James introductory stream on YouTube wasn't fired for the mistake. Bad news, it doesn't do much for the dozens of South Florida retirees who suffered fatal heart attacks when they thought 2012 was going to happen again. So, good news, bad news there. In case you missed it, the 76ers reportedly plan to play the 41-year-old LeBron James at point guard next season to honor Michael Jordan. He will wear number 23. And to honor the greatest 41-year-old point guard in history, he'll wear John Stockton-style medium shorts. Get ready for the... Honestly, get ready. The last time LeBron played full-time point guard was 2019-2020, where he led the league in assists, won a ring, and triggered a global shutdown that froze society for 2 years. It's going to be just telling you right now, put half your money on the Sixers to win the title, the other half on toilet paper. I think you need to go out and do that. In case you missed it, following the massive decision by LeBron James to join the Philadelphia 76ers, the NBA is expected to award the team the league maximum 34 national televised games for the 26-27 season. So don't worry. You won't miss out on LeBron James and Joel Embiid's coordinated designer load management cardigans. You'll get to see them in high definition. It's going to be great. All right, coming up, we got to do the Daily Buzz. The Seahawks are moving on from one running back. Beers to celebrate for Justin Herbert. And it's another Steeler that might not be available for week 1. We'll get you all that in the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
The biggest question.
Well, the Seattle Seahawks have waived running back Kenny McIntosh, the 7th-round pick from a couple years ago, often injured, will not be part of the plans moving forward for the Birds. They are going to move on from him. I don't think that's a big surprise. He is rehabilitating from a torn ACL last year. They now have one open spot on their 90-man training camp roster, so an opportunity to go and get somebody out there to give it a try. We talked to our friend Will Ortner yesterday. He was pointing out the fact that you're seeing a lot from Jadarian Price. Emmanuel Wilson has been great in the carries that he's gotten. George Holani has been very good as well. So adding a 4th running back to that room will be when Zach Charbonnet returns and not Kenny McIntosh.
The Buzz.
Well, one of the names that was being bandied about for the Seattle Mariners to look for in the trade deadline options was a guy named Casey Schmidt. Well, he has been put on the 10-day DL with a right wrist issue, so we will see if he ends up being moved at all. Spencer Steer. No, other options are Casey Schmidt. Spencer Steer.
I was going to say, what a dumb name.
No, well, Casey Schmidt is an actual name, but
yeah, it's my name.
I know, very, very close. Not Smith. Schmidt. Spencer Steer on the 10-day DL, so they are moving to look at Casey Schmidt, who has been doing very well against lefties, not nearly as well as Steer, who is hitting .342 against lefties, and Schmidt, who is hitting .314 against lefties.
The Buzz.
Well, good news. If you are an Indianapolis Colts fan, Daniel Jones is cleared for training camp. He's out there playing 11-on-11 drills, ready to go. This, not all that long ago, a guy that had a torn Achilles tendon. He threw for 3,100 yards, 19 TDs in just 13 starts before leaving the rest of the season with the Achilles tear and a broken fibula. So getting him back out there is big for a team that has really underperformed over the last few years. They've tried a lot of different stopgaps at quarterback, it feels like. They've tried getting their draft pick out there, Anthony Richardson. And last year, it was a breath of fresh air to see Daniel Jones not only play well, but play well for a team that needed a quarterback to do so. But he should be back out and ready to go for the start of the season since he's in training camp now.
The Buzz.
Nothing to do with football, but congratulations to Justin Herbert. The popular joke is Justin Herbert going to get a ring before fill in your quarterback, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or whoever, or he's just going to get his own first ring. But a lot of ring jokes, not enough beer jokes being made about Justin Herbert, but congratulations to the former Oregon Duck and the current quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers, and I assume probably congratulations to this very minor pop star that's probably doing pretty well for herself.
She's probably doing great.
Yeah,
She seems like she's doing fine.
Well, I think marrying an NFL quarterback who has a very, very bright future and is expected to play in this league for a very long time is probably a decent move on her part as well. We wish them nothing but happiness and 1,000 children. Whoops.
The Buzz.
Whoa. I got some other music playing there. Double tap there. Oh, no. Steelers defensive back Jalen Ramsey is starting training camp on the PUP list with a knee injury. Do not worry, Casey. The team fully expects him to be ready for week 1. This is precautionary, not something that you need to worry about. 3-time Pro Bowler Jamal Adams will be joining the Vikings secondary to make as much trouble as he possibly can. He has had injury-riddled seasons with the Seahawks, played for the Raiders last season, and the Jets before that, seeing if he can revitalize a career that was off to an explosive start. 3-time Pro Bowler. We'll see what happens when he partners with a guy named Brian Flores. Last time I checked, a pretty good defensive mind in this league. And what does Brian Flores like to do as much or more than anybody in the NFL?
Sue?
Ooh, I love that answer. I was going to say blitz and what safety was as effective as any when blitzing, but Sue is so much better. Well done,
It was
sir.
just hanging there.
We need to do, you know what we need to do on
thing is,
Friday? You know what we need to do on Friday?
Flores' side.
I'm telling you this right now. You know what we need to do? It's a final bonus hour.
Oh.
We need it in case you missed it on Friday. You
I
start
think
preparing. That was good.
I'll start.
That's the first time I've ever thought that you needed to try to be funny on purpose. Very good.
The Buzz.
Congratulations to the Miami Marlins. They have ended their skid at 12 games. A walk-off hit getting to All-Star Zach Wheeler early. It was quite the performance. And how about this for a stat? Griffin Conine became the 5th player since 2000 to record a walk-off hit for a team that his father played for and also got a walk-off hit for. Jeff Conine's son now has a walk-off hit for the team that his father played for.
That's cool.
5 different guys have done that since 2000. That is very cool.
5 different father-son duos?
Yes, 5 different sons now since just 2000 have recorded a walk-off for a team that their father had a walk-off for.
That's the impressive stat.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
The Buzz.
All right, let's go to the Red Sox. Ceddanne Rafaela crushed his first career grand slam in the 6th inning, and the red-hot Red Sox won 4-2 over the Athletics. They have now won 10 straight on the road. They have won 23 of 27 games. They are absolutely on a tear. They also went out and made a move early. They got Curtis Mead. They picked up Curtis Mead, one of the big trade deadline moves that's happened so far. You know what he did in his first opportunity to play for his new team? Got beamed in the hand, and they thought he was going to be out. It turns out he is going to be fine. X-rays were negative. He said squeezing his fan feels okay. Just a little bit of pain rotating. X-rays were negative. Everything should be okay, but that's the scare that you get. Hey, let's go out and make a move. Let's get rid of a young pitching prospect and send him off, and we'll go get some help in the... Let's just get beamed in the hand on the first try. Not great, but things should be just fine, and they got another win, so watch out for the freaking Red Sox. What did the Red Sox do earlier this season? Fire their manager?
Mm-hmm.
Philly's playing pretty well.
Yep.
What did they do earlier this season?
Fired their manager.
I wonder what we can do to turn the Seattle Mariners team around. I can't think of anything.
Dan Wilson
The
extension.
Buzz.
He gets an extension. Ugh. That would be awesome. 2 things to wrap this little segment up. Both for your Yankees. You want bad news first or you want good news first?
Give me the bad first.
Cody Bellinger out 4 to 6 week grade 2 hamstring strain. But the good news is hamstrings not historically finicky at all. So that 4 to 6 weeks, there's no way it goes beyond that. So that's the great news for you. Cody Bellinger slashing 259, 350, and 420 with 11 home runs, 53 RBIs in 102 games so far this season. You don't need a left fielder, do you?
Yeah, that's your All-Star Game MVP for a reason.
Oh, there you go. And how about this journeyman catcher? Ali Sanchez launched his first career Major League home run, ! In a gritty 9-5 Yankees victory over the White Sox. The guy came up in 2020, got his first ever Major League home run. That is cool. That is very cool. And you know what else is very cool? Walking over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk to see what we missed.
I got worried that you were going to step on this one when you started rattling off all the NFL ones.
Oh, did I rattle off? I only got a few.
Well, I've got it for you.
All right, let's hear it.
First on the fan, the Minnesota Vikings have agreed Tuesday to a 4-year contract extension with right tackle Brian O'Neill.
Oh, it's an offensive line. Who cares?
Exactly. O'Neill
Not even a left tackle.
has a PFF pass blocking grade of 76.4 and ranked 22nd among 89 qualified offensive tackles, only allowing 21 total pressures in pass protections. That total included 2 sacks and 1 hit allowed to opposing pass rushers.
You know what's funny is you just went through a bunch of stats that are about left tackles and whatever. It's very inconsequential. It got me so excited for the stupid NFL season. Just that, like going out, I cannot wait to complain about the performance of the right guard of the Seattle Seahawks for real. It's freaking love the NFL. Let's get to it.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of the firm. real game calls, real reactions, and one big question.
Is that a corn dog in your pocket?
Oh yeah. That's my practice dog, sorry.
3-2 to Murakami. Drills this one into left. Back it goes! Show me the Mooney! His first home run since coming off the injured list, and it happens here on his bobblehead game.
That was Chicago White Sox announcer, well, at it again. Munetaka Murakami with a home run.
Show me the Mooney?
Show me the Mooney.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Not as good as the moonshot from Murakami.
Yeah,
I like that call more.
Yeah, you got to try. You got to test them out. Listen, it's still July. You got to test these things out. You got to get it dialed for the postseason because the White Sox could be there.
It could be there. But how do we feel about Murakami's bobblehead performance night? Again, the 2 home run night. I'm going to officially say it. That's the best performance that we have seen from a hitter on his own bobblehead night.
I mean, Shohei with the walk-off, it's pretty nice. We can go back and watch all of those games on bobblehead nights. You've got an Aaron Judge 2 home run game. What I'm going to say is...
In a loss.
What I'm going to say is the more shocking thing is not just Munetaka Murakami. It is a turnaround of this White Sox team. I mean, this is a team that was trying to lose 160 games a couple seasons ago. They were absolutely awful. And what they have in their pipeline, what they have with young players in the major leagues right now, they have been a turnaround that has lapped many a team that has been floating near the bottom of Major League Baseball for quite a while. And it's awesome to see how quickly you can recover if you put together a plan and go out there and take shots in the international draft and the international market and go out and get guys, figure out your farm system. Things can turn around really quickly. Hopefully it is sustainable. I like seeing the White Sox out there playing well. It's a team that I've always had, I don't know why, but a soft spot for. Honestly, I don't really have that. Most people prefer the Cubs over the White Sox. I've been to the White Sox Stadium. I kind of rooted for him when I was younger. Frank Thomas, the big hurt out there, was always one of my favorite players. Well, before he was doing his male enhancement commercials and just terrible ads, and now not so much. But they were fun to watch when I was growing up, and it's a team that I've always had a soft spot for. So I love seeing them get a quick turnaround. It's awesome.
I'm starting to hop on the train. I had to wait for that last 3-game series.
I cannot wait for you to make the switch from Yankees to White Sox.
I am worried.
I love it.
Here's Reese finding Malunga for the slam. Dominique Malunga throws it down. The first dunk in the All-Star game since Sylvia Fowles.
How easy did she make that look? Just in her steps going in. For anybody else, it would be a little finger roll or a layup.
Again, for anyone else, it would be a finger roll or a layup, but for Dominique Malunga, it was a dunk. That was the 5th dunk in WNBA All-Star history, only the 9th dunk in WNBA history in the All-Star game over the weekend.
Awesome.
Come on. Give me more than that. A dunk. We got a dunk in the All-Star game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's an All-Star game. So first of all, we've seen enough NBA All-Star games to know that there's not going to be much resistance from just about anything. Here's my question for you, because this conversation came up over the weekend. You ever dunk?
No.
You ever grab the rim, hang up there?
A few times.
Yeah. I could never touch the rim, grab the rim, whatever. I'm a 5'10", zero vertical leap JV athlete. I could not get there. My brother played a little junior college basketball. He used to be able to get above the rim, but could never palm the basketball. So I don't know if he ever dunked in a game. I'm sure he threw a couple down. My dad claiming that he used to be able to hit the middle of his forearm when he would jump up and go after the rim. He still holds the mile record at his high school. So he's a 3-sport athlete: track, football, and basketball. But he also couldn't palm the basketball, so I don't know that he ever dunked it in a game. My nephew, 13, claiming he can already grab the rim, so he is aspiring to dunk. But for all those guys that want to poo-poo the dunk in the WNBA, how many of your friends, whether you could do it or not, how many of your buddies growing up could just go and drop step dunk? There was a kid I remember vividly. I wish I could remember his name. I didn't know him. Some kid from Columbia River High School. I was supposed to go to a Sadie Hawkins dance. The gal that asked me had a friend that had asked another guy that played basketball with me, and we're like, hey, we kind of want to go check out the Clark County All-Star game for basketball because we had some friends playing on it, right? So we go, and as part of the Clark County All-Star basketball festivities, there was a dunk contest at Clark College. And we went to the dunk contest, and there was a kid that just stood on the block, took an inbound pass, and did a drop-step dunk, and it might have gotten the biggest ovation because most people were trying to do something spectacular and missing. Every once in a while, something would be really good, but it was just so funny, the value, check it, I can just do one drop-step, turn around, jump up, one-handed dunk, and I remember it being, first of all, hilarious. Second of all, I can't do that. And then we went on to skip the entire dance, and we went to see Laser Beastie Boys at OMSI. Portland, thank you for having so many wonderful entertainment options.
Laser Beastie Boys.
Laser Beastie Boys at OMSI in the IMAX Dome. Don't sell yourself short on it. If it comes back, you're going to want to see that. This is right around Intergalactic. Oh, yeah.
A 3-1. This should do it. Popped up. Who's going to get it? Volpe makes the play. Drop the ball. Volpe dropped the ball. Wow, and the game continues.
He's at it again, Luke. He's doing it again. Anthony Volpe is playing shortstop, and, well, he's dropping pop flies when you have a 5-run lead.
Well, let me ask you this. You ever drop a pop fly? Think of how many of your friends had dropped pop flies. When I was in high school baseball... No,
I have dropped many a pop fly. I am in a slow-pitch softball league. I have made many a throwing error. But I am not the starting shortstop for the New York Yankees. I am allowed to make those mistakes. Anthony Volpe, you are not.
It's not a franchise that has a history of great shortstops or anything. There's nobody iconic in the pinstripes that played good defensive shortstop. So, I mean, you got to lower your expectations a little bit. Anthony Volpe is the bane of your existence. And I know you put this in here so you could gripe about it. Defensive errors in Major League Baseball are one of the easiest things to get frustrated with because these guys are just so damn good.
Did you want to watch the replay? He calls off the center field.
No, that there is nothing worse than dropping a pop fly. When it hits the glove
and you call people off
and
of it?
Falls at, I don't care if you do or not. That is one of the things that feels unforgivable. I already know that you have disdain for this young man. And your bet is if Anthony Volpe is the reason that the Yankees don't go further than the White Sox in the postseason, you will get rid of your 17 New York Yankees hats and you will replace them with at least one White Sox hat, and you will become a White Sox fan. So this is moving towards that, and I know it's not great for you, but you're going to have to live with it. But what is going on with the New York Yankees that they don't have a better option?
Again, the foundation of my Yankee fandom started in the middle infield, and it might end in the middle infield.
I like that. Didn't they have another shortstop for a minute? What happened to that guy?
Oh, he just happens to make people very angry. He just happens to have a pitch clock.
Baseball. It is such a weird thing.
Yeah, complain about Caballero so much where we have to play Volpe. That's the MLB just
so
making
if Caballero ends up being the reason for it, does that count just as much?
No, I will ride or die with Cabby. I would ride or die with Cabby.
Anybody but Volpe.
The chase for the squirrel is on, and the squirrel is in the corner, and the squirrel is still eluding an entire horde of grounds crew members. And the squirrel's free once again. Hemmed in? No, I won't be hemmed in. I have freedom on my mind. Trying to go between the legs, and eventually he gets away again and hops through the towel. And hops through another towel. The force field is activated. Towels can't stop him, or maybe they can. A triple crown possibility yet again. Ends in the final week of July.
That was a clip that you asked me to pull.
Oh, of course.
That was
Great
from
Jason Benetti.
That was from the Baltimore Orioles game. Was it last night?
It was the Tigers hosting the Orioles last night, yes.
And, well, a squirrel came on the field and all mayhem started to pursue.
But did you watch the entire clip?
I did.
It is not just that moment that we heard. The squirrel was hanging out the entire game, and Jason Benetti was having a ball with it. He's hanging out in the batter's box with the first base coach. He's feeding him seeds. There's a bird down on the field that is interacting with the squirrel. They're going, and then for whatever reason, the Tigers grounds crew decided after several innings of the squirrel just hanging out.
So the squirrel had been out there for multiple innings?
Most of the game.
Oh, wow.
And they send out the cavalry. They send out the entire grounds crew to go and get this
15
squirrel.
grounds crew members.
Oh, there's more than that. There had to have been at least 25 guys out there, and he is running through their legs. But what you don't hear in that clip, and what you need to watch, the Orioles right fielder, Leody Taveras, he is going after the squirrel with his glove, almost catches him, ends up flipping the squirrel and doing a backflip. So he hypes up the squirrel before he has the mad dash through all the grounds crew. It's absolutely hilarious. This is why baseball has just those moments that end up being so fun, and you have to appreciate Jason Benetti, who's been tabbed to do the NBC games, which... Can I just say that those broadcasts have been really fun? So instead of getting a regular color commentator, they've been bringing through all of the team's color guys. So if the Mariners are playing, Ryan Roland Smith has been out there. John Kruk was with him the other night on NBC and telling stories and doing all of that.
Best.
Oh, he's great. But it's the whole flow of Jason Benetti is out there having fun. And if you don't know his backstory, and this was a few years ago, Disney had this series. My wife loves Disney, but you can go and watch their like Disney shorts on Disney Plus, where you can go and watch, and it's like My Job at Disney. And they did a feature on Benetti, and he was working for ESPN at the time, but to get his background, and just a guy that every time I hear his voice, I just like him more and more. And if there's an opportunity to catch him doing a preview of a game, the Tigers are going to play the Mariners in a couple weeks, I might even listen to the Tigers broadcast. Just one of my absolute favorites, and not afraid to go out there and have fun. And a wonderful play call of that, but he did miss. I hate to compliment a guy and then backhand it, but he missed the Leody Taveras reach for that squirrel, which is probably visually the most entertaining bit of it.
It was, because then all you see is the tail just start to fly in the air a little bit.
The funniest thing, too, though, is if you look at the grounds crew, there are definitely some guys that want nothing to do with the squirrel, and then there's a couple guys trying to be heroes to catch it in a towel, but there's a couple younger looking guys, they do not want squirrel rabies at all. So it's pretty humorous. If you get a chance, you just need a quick laugh, something to watch. But right now, we need to get to one more for the road. We'll do it next. It is Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
Join the air.
If you missed any part of this show, past shows, future shows, podcast, 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, anywhere you find your podcast. There are 42 days, 14 hours, 27 minutes, and 15 seconds until we kick off for the NFL season. Casey, are you excited? No?
For the football season?
Yes.
You know I'm a sicko.
Let's do it. What are people saying on the YouTube chats and the text line that we need to address?
Laser Pink Floyd at the Seattle Center on acid was better.
Oh, did they try the Laser Beastie Boys?
I said the new Laser Beastie Boys.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, listen, I was, 16, 17? Wasn't ready to go Pink Floyd and acid. I will say Pink Floyd is something that every time I listen to Pink Floyd grows a little bit more on you. And we'll have to implement acid and the Seattle Center.
Have you ever done the Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah, we tried that plenty of times.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's a wild. If they did that intentionally, I don't know what's weirder. If it was on purpose or on accident, I don't know what's weirder. Have they ever admitted to that? I've never done a deep dive into that. But either way, it's quite the entertainment value.
That's a good one.
Yeah. There you go. Anything else?
Not that I can see.
Let's do one more. Probably won't be his final start, but very likely could be his final start at Nationals Park. It was the 42nd birthday of one Max Scherzer yesterday, and it took quite a bit of effort to get through 2 1/3 innings, 2 2/3 innings, 75 pitches, walked 3, struck out 4 in the outing, but only allowed 1 run. Blue Jays get a 3-1 victory over the Nationals. 100th career start at the stadium, and he had a 30-second standing ovation. And I don't know, there's something about Max Scherzer as just one of the more unique figures in baseball. He's always got that steely look out there, and a guy that never shows any emotion other than just disdain.
Even when he fouled a ball off of his own face. He still always has that angry look.
He always has that angry look. So you have a 30-second standing ovation. The most acknowledgement he could was put the hand to the tip of his cap and salute the fans. But the fans absolutely love Max Scherzer there. You wouldn't expect a whole lot more seasons from a guy that has been on 2 IL stints. This is his first game back from his second stint this year. He has a 9.49 ERA after allowing only 1 run in 2 2/3. Obviously, Blue Jays not having the season that they hoped to. He had a chance to, throw in the World Series last year.
He's just on a 1-year deal for them?
I believe so, but I think mostly because there was no interest in him this offseason, so he ended up signing back with the Blue Jays. I can't remember that 100%. But if this is the final time that you get to see Max Scherzer throwing at a stadium where he played 7 years, they certainly showed their appreciation. And I will do the same. I loved watching the career of Max Scherzer. You'd always get some good quotes. He was no nonsense. I remember Dave Roberts giving him a pat on the ass, and he just looked at him and goes, "Don't ever do that again. I'm a professional. I'll be ready. Don't ever." It's one of my favorite things. So, anyways, we'll be back tomorrow with another bonus hour. I want to thank everybody that listened today. Thank you, Casey, as always. And, of course, we can't leave without saying thank you to Isaac Robb. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.